Okay, so what we're seeing here in the 60-gallon tank is the sea apple, and it's in the foreground. I'm going to try to point out some structures on here. You'll notice that there are some bright orange, sort of reddish orange structures. And notice the animal just moved, kind of moved itself up. So it is capable of motion, although the motion is kind of slow. And unfortunately, the colors that you're seeing here are somewhat distorted from the real colors. That is the colors that you would see if you were looking at this with your naked eye. So there are rows right here of, they're actually yellow colored, although you don't really see it very well in this video. And these are tube feet, and this is basically how the animal moves. Now it's got itself kind of attached to or stuck onto. I mean, I'm sure it can move away if it wants to. There's a coral right alongside of it here. There's a bubble coral that it's attached itself to. But what I want to point out are these little red structures here, which are actually the feeding tentacles. And I had just fed this thing before I started the video. I fed it some phytoplankton, so I was kind of hoping you'd be able to see that. Now, much more difficult to see, although I'm going to try to move the camera a little bit closer so that you can see it. You should be able to see right here, there's a lime green structure that's moving around. That is actually a polychaete worm. Let me see if I can get closer to it, because its color, it's very beautiful, but its color is so light that unless I'm pretty much on top of it, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it. So I'm going to try to come down here. There you can see it a little bit better there. And you can see, oh, that's much better now. So you could also see the tentacles of the sea apple. So right next to the sea apple, you'll notice the tentacles of the polychaete worm. This is a what they call a feather duster. And this worm actually, you'll notice, must have just gotten a little disturbed because it retracted part of the way into its tube. The tube is below ground. Alongside of it, although you can't really see it, is another tube which is actually just about on the ground, and inside that there is a pink feather duster. Although that hasn't come out for quite a while. I'm going to try to move it and see if I can get it to come out a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to stop this right. Well, actually, I just want to, since I've got the sea apple right here, I think I'm just going to move this around so you can get an idea of how vivid these colors are. And you can see the yellow tube feet a little bit better now. You can see how bright the colors are. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about aposematic coloration. It's highly unlikely that another animal would encounter this thing in the wild and not at least be alerted to the fact that this animal is displaying these very vivid colors, and there's a reason for it. Okay, so I'm going to put this back, turn this off, and I'm going to feed in a moment. I'm going to feed some of the other creatures that are in the tank and see if we can get some of the other marine invertebrates to come out and display themselves for us.